I know I was here last weekend, but then I was only here for 48 hours. And then I turned around and left again, so I feel very settled now in coming home. And it's good to be here. It's a good place to be. This is a good place to be. Thank you, Terry. You've been coming to this center for over a decade. And you have made investments in your spiritual bank account that have allowed you to handle the things that show up in all of our lives without knocking you down. And you ended up being lifted up by it. I'm just so impressed. We're not looking to be dead in life. People say, oh, I don't want any problems. I don't want any struggle. Well, this is life. You know, I've been in enough hospital rooms with people hooked up to monitors, and every so often the thing goes beep, beep, beep. And if we don't have anything going on, what we get is beep. So we're going to have things happen in life. And as we have things happen, we need to know what we've got to work with. People come to this teaching very often in search of money. This is a great teaching to have money. If you don't have enough money, come to the Monday night class. We're doing our increased income program, and you will create more money. It's not that difficult to create money. But what happens in the learning to create money is people learn that in order to have it on the outside, you have to have it on the inside. As within, so without. In order to have more in our lives, we must first become more. We create a mental equivalent. We create an experience of embodying that which we want to have first on the inside, and then it shows up on the outside. So when people come in and they say, Barbara, 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 I want more money, I say, great. All you have to do is have more worth inside of yourself. And then you'll have more worth on the outside. You just simply need to value inside who you are, and that value will show up outside. And the way that we do that is through this idea called not a physical bank account, not at Wells Fargo or Home Trust or whatever else is out there anymore, whoever has combined into whatever, but through a spiritual bank account where we make deposits. We actually make deposits into this energetic, call it consciousness, if you will. But consciousness is one of those words that if you're not familiar with it, it can seem elitist or separate and you don't really know what I'm talking about. So let's call it a bank account. You make an energetic deposit on a spiritual level into your bank account so that you got something. Why do you think we can... Thank you, Deborah. Where's Deborah? Uh-oh. Thank you, Deborah, for doing that work and calling all of the practitioners. Why do you think we can call the practitioners whenever something is really up? We only call the practitioners if there's something really up. You know, we don't call practitioners for 3 months from now I'm going to be taking a real estate exam and I'd like the practitioner phone tree set in motion to treat for me. It's got to have kind of an emergency state to it. So why do you think we can call the practitioners and make that withdrawal of energy, of healing energy? It is because they have spent years making deposits in their spiritual bank account. We can do that, we can have something to withdraw from because something has first been put in. Think about it. Remember when you first opened up your bank account? What was the phrase? I can't be out of money, I still have checks? Yeah, there really wasn't for most of us. Certainly I know for me, I just get mad at the bank and go open up a new bank account as if I was not taking myself with me. For many people, we develop a learning experience that in order to have something to withdraw, we first have to put it in. And as we mature, it becomes a no-brainer. Well, duh, you can't withdraw out more than you put in, so if you want to make a big withdrawal, or if you want to have some savings, some surplus in life, oh my God, let's have some surplus, we need to put more in. So if we want to evolve spiritually, if we want to be able to handle the things that life has, that we've created for whatever reason, it's only an opportunity to heal and to grow into more of the divine presence that we already are. Okay, it looks like, I can't say that on tape, it looks like, oh no, oh my gosh, WTF. It looks like that, and we better have something to pull out of so that we can handle this. When I look at my life, the reason this has come up is that I found myself questioning what was going on in my life. It was 6 weeks ago that I took a trip to Costa Rica with my son, my daughter-in-law, and my grandchildren, and we camped. I didn't know it was going to be camping, but we camped. And I did that. I did that really without thinking much about it. I just did it. And then I came back and we went to Vancouver, British Columbia, to the convention, they're calling it now. I don't know what they'll call it next year, but right now it's called the Convention, Centers for Spiritual Living Convention. And I found myself in this room that I mentioned last week was amazing. It was the Queen Elizabeth room. That Queen Elizabeth actually stayed in that room in the Hotel Vancouver when she went to Vancouver, because Vancouver was a province of England. She's still on their money. I don't think they got that separation thing quite like we did. But I found myself in this incredible room with an adjoining room, you know, at least the size of this section, all the way to the back. Wow. I went in there and at first I said, I'm never leaving this room. And was there for a week and a half. We went early and did all of that and ate wonderful food. I'm John's wife. I'm the president's wife. I was dressed. I was dressed from dawn till late at night. I was dressed and looking good and feeling good and connecting with people. And while I was there, I was elected to the brand new Ministers' Council. And when I put my name in the hat, I really didn't think I was going to be elected. And then I was elected, and then I was elected with the majority votes of anyone who was running. So when we had our meeting, they elected me to be chair of this new Ministers' Council, which I still don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. But that's fine, because I realize whenever I need to know, I will know. And so if I don't know, I don't need to know yet. I'm going to put out an email to that effect. So I had my doctoral presentation back in January. I got elected chair of this, and this is a high muckety-muck position. This is a high position. And so now I'm elected to this thing, and then I came home for 48 hours, did last Sunday, had a wonderful pipe ceremony in this room for Monday night class, and then I went to the beach for a week. And I had a little bit of time to process all of this, and I'm saying, what in the world are you doing? That little voice that is in the back of the head that says, who do you think you are? You know, who do you think you are? Going to Costa Rica, you got a doctorate, you're going to Vancouver, you're going to the beach. I mean, did I really have to go to the beach after all this traveling? Yes, I had to go to the beach. The same way that Terry went and got a massage. Brilliant. And so there's that voice inside of me that says, how did this happen? How did this happen to me, the part of me that still sees myself as the child of my youth? How did this happen that I ended up this person? And I thought it was a lot of work, and it was a lot of deposits in my spiritual bank account. I remember when I was a child and I was fighting with the head of the Sunday school in my Methodist church. You know, I was always saying, there's got to be a higher truth. There's got to be a greater good. I bought my first TM, my only TM mantra when I was 15 for $100. A year later, I paid $100 and bought a whole car. But I went and I got this TM mantra because I was searching for something, that there had to be something greater. There had to be something more to this experience called life. And then I went and I jumped into the Saraswati Mahashakti Yoga Ashram, Kundalini Yoga Ashram in Miami, and we'd go every night. We'd do the breath of fire, generate the energy, and bring it up the spine and shoot it out the top of your head. I was young. Got married in that ashram. There was always this part of me that was searching, that was looking, that it was expanding and growing and trying new things. And then I got pregnant, and then I got married, and yes, it was in that order. And I threw myself into being a mother and making baby food and breastfeeding, and poor child never heard the word no till he was 2, and then it was a big shock. But I threw myself into that, always searching for what was this? And then I did the geographical change, where supposedly moving across the country is going to change the circumstances in our lives, but again, we take us with us. And I walked into my first Science of Mind Center and I found it. I found a teaching that said you can have anything that you want. You can have anything that you want. The only catch is that you have to first become that. You have to let go of any and all blockages. You have to heal anything that has kept you small. And you have to open up and embrace that greater awareness of spirit as you by making deposits in our spiritual bank account. When I walked into that little center in Eugene, Oregon, I had already made deposits. I had made deposits for years. I've been meditating for years. I've been chanting for years. I've been reading for years. I've been searching for years. All of those are deposits to give me something to withdraw from. Every time we have spiritual practice, we put energy deposits in our spiritual bank account. Every time we open up our heart and love, we put energy deposits in our spiritual bank account. Every time we are generous, we deposit into our spiritual bank account. And when we make these deposits into our spiritual bank account, it gives us something to lean on, something to withdraw from, something to lift us up when we're not sure on a conscious level whether or not it's going to work out, whether or not we've got what it takes, whether or not we are really who we think we are. It's not about money. Money comes. People think it's about stuff. It's not about relationships. Relationships come. It's not about the things, the outer in life. It's always about the inner. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else will be added unto us. What does that mean? Well, we heard heaven is not above us or below us or outside of us or behind us or anything like that. Heaven is within us. So seek ye first that awareness of the presence of spirit within us, and all else will be added unto us. When we decide that we are going to go out of our way, take the high road, transcend, put deposits in our spiritual bank account, just go the extra mile, however you want to language it. When we decide that we are going to align ourselves with that higher vibration that brings about what we choose to experience in our lives, we deposit in our spiritual bank account. Every time we go past judgment, walk a mile in someone's shoes, see it from their point of view. Don't engage. Don't fight. You hold up the little sign that says, tell me more, even if you're going, tell me more. You're depositing in your spiritual bank account. Every time you allow yourself to be the incredible being that you've come here to be, you deposit in your spiritual bank account. You know, a lot of us keep very close tabs on our physical bank account. A lot of us are online every day checking the balance. A lot of us balance our checkbooks meticulously at the end of the month. A lot of us pay a lot of attention to our physical bank accounts. I wonder what would happen if we paid even a fraction of that attention to our spiritual bank accounts. What have I deposited today? And we don't do it for just ourselves or just peace on earth. There's no difference. If I have a state of peace within myself because I didn't get mad at the neighbor whose dog barked, if I have a state of peace within myself, I have peace on earth. There is no difference. One of the really cool things that was discussed at the Vancouver Convention was this idea. It started off with talking about namaste. Isn't that lovely, namaste? The God in me honors the God in you. There is no God in me and God in you. There is no namaste. Oh, Barbara, you can't say that. Well, I said, what the? So, there is no namaste. There is no God in me and God in you. There's only God. There's only me as you and you as me. And then we moved into this idea that says, I'm not even a point. I'm not even a wave in the ocean, because we have that great affirmation that says, as the wave is to the ocean, I am to spirit. And so we're talking about how I'm not a wave being as to spirit. I am the ocean in the wave. Wow. This is some heavy stuff. I'm not the wave relating to the ocean. I'm just me, Barbara Waterhouse, relating to the incredible essence of the divine. No, I am the divine as me. There is no me and you. There certainly is no God outside. There is no place to reach out to. There is nothing to attract into my experience. There is no one that is different than me. There is only the magnificence of spirit as me, as you, right now, same thing. Same, but different. Every time we step beyond the world of appearance, we deposit into our spiritual bank account. Every time we move beyond fear, we deposit into our spiritual bank account. Every time we look at an appearance and say, you are not real. Only God is real. Only God as me is real. We deposit into our spiritual bank account. And it would be naive of me to say you're never going to have to make a withdrawal. Because you will. For yourself, maybe for someone who comes to see you and they haven't been making the diligent deposits that you have, and they ask you if they can take out a loan. Can I have a loan of belief? Can I have a loan of faith? Can I have a loan of trust? Can I have a loan of knowing? And you'll say, sure, because I have surplus. I have an abundance, because I've been being mindful of what I do with my energy and my intention, and I've been making regularly scheduled deposits in my spiritual bank account. I have more than enough for me, for you, for the whole world. And so it is.